Welcome back to Wisdom with the Wise Counselor podcast. I'm your host, the Wise Counselor, also known by my birth name, simply Lateef. This podcast is all about building your emotional resiliency, thinking about wellness and mental health, reclaiming your authority, and learning how to live your life on purpose and purpose. This episode, let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's talk about something we don't always want to admit: the invisible cost of instability. I said the invisible cost of instability. When we don't feel stable, when we don't feel secure, when our basic needs like food and shelter and peace and rest are not consistently met, it shows up in everything. And I do mean everything. You can't be emotionally whole if you are continuously living in a state of panic because you're worried about your finances. You can't thrive mentally when you're consistently forced to problem solve for how you're going to make it through the next week. Baby, that is not wellness. Family, that is simply survival. And survival mode will wear you out before purpose mode ever gets a chance to breathe in. Here's the truth. Your mental health is deeply connected to how stable you feel, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, physically, and socially. But let's not lie. If your lights are off, if your refrigerator is empty, if you're dodging calls from bill collectors, if your body's exhausted from worry, how are you really supposed to feel okay? When survival becomes your default setting, everything becomes reactive. You start to operate out of fear and not out of vision. When you're constantly bracing yourself for the next emergency, what happens when survival mode becomes your norm? When you're trying to figure out if you can delay your phone bill being paid so that money can cover your rent, or you're wondering if returning those new shoes that you bought last week will give you enough money now to pay for some gas so you can get to work. Maybe all of that means that you are not truly living. You're simply negotiating with your dignity just to function. You start second guessing everything. Can I say no to this invitation and still be included? If I give this person their money back, will they still respect me? If I'm honest about what I'm going through, will the people that I know and love still see me as competent? And slowly, your peace will absolutely get hijacked. You begin making choices not based on what you want, not even based on what you need, but what you are afraid of losing. And that fear starts to grow in your mind, and it begins to take root. And then it takes up space, and then it takes up more space, and then it clutters your joy. It creates emotional congestion, and then you find yourself anxious, snappy, restless, and depleted. Not because you're broken, but because you are burned out from surviving. Let me say this simple and plain. Financial stress is a mental health issue. Did you hear me? Financial stress is a mental health issue. We don't like to admit it because we think money is separate from our identity. But baby, when you are laying awake night after night, trying to figure out how you're going to juggle bills, your side hustle, how you're going to buy groceries and get gas in the car, and then maybe you have an unexpected copay from an ER visit, baby, all of that means that you are not okay. You are running your mind like a spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet does not make room for rest, joy, and purpose. And what's worse, you start feeling guilty for even dreaming, like you don't have the right to want more, like you don't deserve peace until your balance or till that spreadsheet hits a certain number. And that guilt, that guilt will absolutely turn into shame. And that shame will keep you stuck in patterns that do not serve you or other people around you well, because you are afraid to admit one thing. You are afraid to admit that you need help. Here's what I want us to reflect on today. Where in your life are you just surviving? Think about that. What would you change if you had stability? And I'm not just talking financially, but what would you change if you had stability, maybe emotionally? And think about this. Who could you become if you didn't have to carry the burden of just making it? Let me tell you this. There is no shame in struggling, but there is danger in pretending. Did you hear me? There is absolutely no shame in struggling, but there is absolutely danger in pretending. There is danger in trying to keep up with an image when your soul is crumbling. We've got to stop lying to ourselves. If our foundation is cracked, it doesn't matter how beautiful the house is on the outside. Ultimately, it will fall. So let's stop dressing up our pain with luxury. Let's stop masking our instability with performative confidence. Here's some real talk and some real next steps. If you're feeling mentally or emotionally exhausted, I want and I need you to pause. Not to fix everything overnight, but to get honest. Start with these 3 questions. Number 1, am I mentally at peace right now, or am I emotionally hustling just to look stable? Number 2, what part of my life feels the most unstable currently, and who can I trust to help me address it? Number 3, what is one step I can take this week to choose long-term peace over short-term performance? Your wellness absolutely matters. Not just how you present, not just what you post, not just what people think about you, but how you actually live. And if your foundation isn't rooted in truth, stability, and a clear vision, you will keep crashing into survival mode again and again. Family, that's what I have for you today. I hope our conversations don't just go in one ear and out the other. I want you to really reflect, identify what you are going to use from our time today, and then put it into practice. Here's some post-podcast homework for you. Number 1, here's a journal prompt. What does financial peace look like for me? And how would that change my mental health? Take some time and journal about that in the days to come. Here's your second post-podcast homework assignment. It's an action item. I want you to schedule a check-in with somebody who knows more than you. Maybe it's a financial planner, maybe it's a mentor or a therapist or a coach, somebody who is going to help you cast clear vision and help you kind of frame your goals and get you a plan to move forward to reaching those goals. That's your action item. And then your last post-podcast homework assignment, it's simply a reflection question. Ask yourself, am I choosing temporary comfort over lasting peace? And what can I begin shifting in my life today? There is absolutely no time like the present moment to reclaim yourself and to take care of you. I need you to get comfortable diving deeper into how you're going to walk in your purpose. I have to remind you, great things don't just happen overnight. Please take your time and ease into you. At the end of the day, I have to remind you of this. When it's all said and done, you are the only one who is in control of your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions to what life throws your way. I want to thank you for joining me on Wisdom with the Wise Counselor podcast. I'm the Wise Counselor, and know that I love you, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do about that. I believe in you, and I believe that you got this. Be well.